Okay, so Blockable is not construction, it's Blockable. I was at Amazon working on physical retail. I worked on Amazon Go. I worked on Amazon Books. I could do a ton of innovation on the Amazon side. I could do almost no innovation on the physical construction side. At the same time in Seattle, there was a giant housing crisis, homelessness, affordable housing. A big light went off, and I realized that the market was completely inefficient and constrained, and the main issue was inventory. So we thought, what if we built a product? What if you could order housing like you can order cars? What if customers could order hundreds at a time? What would the housing product of the future look like? So this is a Blockable. It's sitting just down the road from our manufacturing plant in Vancouver, Washington, by the Columbia River there. It's a beautiful atomic unit. This is the housing unit. This is what it looks like. Inside is gorgeous. It's really well appointed. It's really well thought through. It feels like a large space. Each Blockable is a sort of living unit on its own. We had it at the Urban Land Institute meeting last week, and so people walked in and they were in a really beautiful sort of studio apartment sitting in the middle of the city. It was quiet. It's really well built. It's gorgeous. Each unit also has its own operating system. So we built this from the ground up to be completely instrumented. We're measuring everything that's going on and giving people full control. Managers, community managers, property managers also have a full interface in Slack so they can see all the events that are going on, and they can build new software to communicate with people inside the units. So it's really a learning machine. And we think of it like every block is a node and every community is a network. So really thinking of these as smart devices that we can roll out and to form entirely new communities. So people have tried this before. It's really hard, which is good to know going in. But like other breakthroughs, it's all about team, market, and timing. This is our team. It's an incredible team. I don't think there's ever been a team that has this particular structure of architecture, industrial design, mechanical engineering, and manufacturing. We're going after this market, which is the missing middle. So this is the mid-story development that's happening in every major city in the United States right now, and it's basically where most of the housing is missing. And so think of mid-rises, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories full of apartments. We're going after those all day long. And we plan to really add value for developers. So all the way from automating the design process to really rapid preparation of foundation into autonomous manufacturing to increase the number that we can build, all the way to support so that we have an ongoing relationship with the developer. This is a virtuous cycle. The more projects they do with us, the more value they get from having a relationship with our company. For developers, we can save them 30% cost, 70% on the design phase, because most buildings design themselves once you understand all the limitations of land use and what the developer is trying to achieve, and then 50% build time. Projects like this, so this is a layout for a multifamily project that we were working on in Utah. This is something that we're working on with Compass Housing in Seattle, which is a scale-out modular program to deliver hundreds and thousands of housing units into the city to solve some of the major problems that are happening there. This was a difficult-to-build location on the Columbia River that we were working on with a developer in Portland. And this is a sort of time lapse of what's going on a couple months ago in our factory. It already looks very different from this. So we have 3 units in production right now. They're going to start to go on site in September, and we can't build fast enough.
Okay, well done. Let's take questions from the Syndicate members. Who's got a question?
So are the developers your customer, the city is your customer, or are you doing B2C?
Developers are the customers, market rate and nonprofit developers, both developers. The only difference is that nonprofits generally access public financing, which has its own requirements for building code.
Jed.
Am I remembering this right? Didn't you used to use shipping containers, and why did you change?
Never used shipping containers. They were always a really good inspiration. They're terrible building materials, but to ship on trucks is very efficient.
Okay.
What is the cost? This is Jason Calacanis, for those people listening to the audio only. What is the cost of an average unit?
Average
the
unit?
One block.
Yeah, so between $45,000 and $80,000, depending on how packed it is with stuff.
And what is the cost per square foot of that then?
About $150 to $325 a square foot.
And you can put those modules together, typically 2 or 3 to make a unit?
Yeah, so this year we're working on 2-story projects, and next year we go to 5. So this year we're working on, think sort of small individual plug-and-play buildings, and then motel-type frameworks, which are 2 stories with general living on the second floor, sometimes education, sometimes storefront on the first.
Great. Let's take another question from the Syndicate members.
Hi. This is Christophe Frez. I'm an angel. How many have you sold? How many do you have in the pipeline? And what is the sales cycle?
So the sales cycle is longer depending on the size of the project. So large projects we have for next year in the pipeline, 70 units, 100 units. Those are longer sales cycle because they tend to be bigger properties. We have 6 customers. The first 3 units that are in contract will be delivered in September. And we have, can I talk about pipeline? Yeah, the rest we'll talk about after. Yeah.
Hey, Aaron Asher,
Yeah.
great presentation. My question is, in terms of the shipping, you say you're doing the shipping the whole thing, but if your location is the West Coast, how do you plan on shipping East Coast? Are you expanding then? You have to have locations, kind of different parts of the country. How are you planning on doing that?
Yeah, so we'll have one location for sure. West Coast is, 1,000 to 1,500 miles. There's not much difference on the delivery because the economics of intermodal are very efficient. So we'll need likely 2 or 3 locations to serve the country. And then we'll also have partnerships with people who do fit and finish, so that do the paint outs and fixtures and all the customization that you would want to do for individual markets that require customization. But we'll need 2 or 3 facilities in the country
What does it cost to deliver 1,000 miles from your location?
$1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take another question.
I'm Ed Roman. I run an Angel Syndicate. Love the presentation. Very cool vision. Do you have any early data yet from consumers around their reaction to this compared to traditional housing?
It's twofold. So we go after people who really value time compression. So the thing that we found is that developers generally have no particular interest in construction. They want the finished buildings. And so developers who are building repeatable models tend to like us even more. So if you're a developer who always builds on a half-acre lot and always does 2-story projects, we can enable you to do 6 projects a year instead of 3. So it's the developers who are generally doing repeatable models who really love what we're doing. And that also goes for nonprofit agencies because they can increase the number of housing units they can provide on a yearly basis, which is a big goal for them.
Hi, Brian Holmes, First Descent Associates. You've talked a little bit about the cost savings, but how does it affect the property value versus traditional construction?
Generally, modular is no different from site-built. So from a regulatory perspective as well as an overall value perspective, it's not different from site-built construction. So manufactured housing is very different. Modular projects, which is what we're doing, modular housing is generally the same as site-built.
Another question.
David Austin with Machine VC. Quick question, Aaron. So really cool. Obviously like it. It's awesome. Number of units you're building on a monthly basis. How many can you build now? How many do you have to build on a monthly basis next year to be able to meet demand?
Yeah, meeting demand is not going to be possible for a while just because we've been blown away by demand. We'll go from, say, 3 a month to about 15 a month by Q1 of 2018.
It's a bit of a Tesla-like situation. The product is so innovative and there's so much pent-up demand that you have to get manufacturing tight before you can scale.
Yes.
That's really what the next year or 2 are going to be about, is tightening up that manufacturing process, I take it?
And we've really simplified around that one model. So that one model, which from that one model we can build 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, all types of different layouts, but the one model is the key, simplifying that, nailing engineering and scaling.
Okay, we have one question from our remote members of the Syndicate. Ashley?
Oh, we just got another one from Matt.
Okay, let's take both. Read both of them to us.
First is, what is the average size of the model unit? And a second is, do these units expedite the entitlement process? How much quicker can they come to market than general construction?
Great questions. Yeah.
So a unit is 180 square feet, but with that unit, you can build 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 900 square feet, 1,000 square feet. So with the unit, you can construct what the market buys, which is typically studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedroom apartments, and developers build apartments because that's what customers rent. And on the entitlement side, we go through the state regulatory process in our plant, which means that we go through each state that we sell in. We go through the building code, energy code, all the building level code gets reviewed on site, which means those permits are already, those reviews are already approved when it gets to the site, which removes some of the complexity of the final inspection.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about an amazing website to help you find the software you need to run your business efficiently. That site is Capterra, CAPTERRA.com/twist. Go there right now and you will find the software you need to solve your business problems. Yes, if you need websites built, customer service, project management, maybe you want to track your applications or figure out email marketing, all these complex software solutions that you need can be found at the website Capterra. It's like Yelp, but for software. So you go there and there's thousands of reviews sitting around, and you can read the reviews of actual users before you make a costly mistake and pick the wrong software solution. I've done this over and over again. I think that I found the best software solution. I train everybody, we install it, we invest hundreds of hours, and then find out that there's a better solution. Then we have to rip it out, move the data over. You don't want to do that. You want to go to capterra.com/twist, capterra.com/twist. It's absolutely free for consumers. There is no obligation for you. You don't need to register. You can just go there right now, capterra.com/twist, and you will be able to figure out what the best software solution is and read those reviews. They're high quality reviews. It's a free resource that's going to help you make the right software decision. You don't want to make a mistake. This will cost you nothing. It's going to find you a better solution, and it's going to save you time. What's not to like? We use it all the time here at This Week in Startups and Launch and all my companies to find the best software to solve business problems. Capterra.com/twist. Find the software that'll make you do what you do better. Okay, let's get back to this amazing program.